Once again, a very good evening to all of you. We have been understanding, learning, deep diving about sprint review from yesterday's session. Let us continue our journey on the same. As you all can see, I have a very simple and very, I would say, straightforward image on my screen. Is it better now? Everybody can see this? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
So yesterday, what we discussed about sprint review in detail, the agenda for sprint review from developers' point of view, from product owners' point of view, from uh, what everybody is bringing to the table while doing sprint review. So it is the crust, or it is the, I would say, gist of that entire discussion. So here, what is mentioned? Meeting at the end of the sprint to check the increment. That means this meeting takes place towards the end of the sprint. Once your entire sprint implementation is completed, then this particular ceremony happens. This is a ceremony, always remember, guys. That is a terminology we use in sprint. So, what happens in this? We basically, on the left hand side, if you can see, we basically take the increment that is from product backlog item. We take up, next level of prioritize and ordered item, and then we have a presentation slash discussion on the same for 2 to 4 hours, depending on the size of the sprint, depending on the work completion, or depending on the done functionalities. And in this meeting or in this discussion, what do we do? So we highlight and we present the done functionalities. Now here, the word done actually means the plain English word done. Tell me when we use this, very simple word done in English, in what context we use the word done? Or in simple words, what does done mean in English?
Finish.
When we are
Finish.
completed the
Stop
task, we
completed.
can say that.
When
Okay,
it is
somebody said finished. Yes, next person. Sorry, I didn't get that.
when we are finished or when we complete some task. When it's done.
Okay. Yes, right. So
When there
everybody
is
clear,
no
right?
any task
When we are
left behind.
Yeah.
Yes.
yes. So everybody is on with me on this, that when we are finished, when we have done something completely, when we have done a task completely, there is nothing pending. Absolutely right. On point. So here, when we say done functionalities, that means any functionality that has been completed end to end fully. So that is your done functionality. Okay. Second is updated product backlog. Now assume you had, say, 50 product backlog items here, okay, and out of which you had, you as in, when I refer to you, it is basically you as a team, okay, always remember. So when we had earlier 50 product backlog items, and from which the team was able to complete or deliver 10 backlog items. Now we are left with 40, right? So here the list of 40 product backlog item, this, right? You can see, right? That is updated. So basically, this is the this is the updated product backlog, right? So from here, we finish something, and then from that, this is the updated one. This is how the flow goes. Yeah, everybody understand? It's an easy concept. What was the earlier product backlog item? How many items we completed, we delivered, we finished, we say they are done, and then update the existing product backlog. So the completed items are out from the list and the below items go up in the hierarchy as per the order and as per the priority. Last and most important point that is being discussed is next sprint planning day, right? So as we all know, till the project ends, the entire process keeps repeating. Okay. So that means when your this sprint ends, we have to get started with the next sprint. It's as simple as it sounds. So in this ceremony, in this discussion, we also plan, we also decide the next sprint planning date. Okay. So that is also one of the important discussion. And now, as you can see, here, product owner, Scrum Master, development team, they have mentioned this team and others. Others, so preferably and most importantly, others means all the stakeholders, everyone who is involved in the project directly, indirectly, all of them are mentioned. So is it easy or not? Any doubts in this diagram? Tell me. It is really, I would say,
I
this
got it,
diagram
Prerna. I
remove.
have one more question here arises for me. Here, right,
Yeah.
in sprint review, we review the sprint backlog item, right, Prerna? So every sprint
Mm-hmm.
review meeting will
Geeta, we lost.
if we complete that items
Yeah.
in the sprint backlog. Sorry, are you able to hear me? Sorry.
Sorry. No, no, no. I mean, I lost your voice in between, and then the sound was little faster. Can you please repeat the question?
Actually, my question is like in the sprint review,
Mm-hmm.
the items in the sprint backlog will be completed, and that will be updated in the product backlog. And the next what set of the sprint backlog will be decided in this sprint review.
Right, right.
Is that correct?
Absolutely right.
Just
Yes, yes, yes. So
so that's the
basically,
step we are
what
following,
happens?
right? Mm-hmm.
Yes. So basically, what happens? Can you see this is like the bigger chunk, size wise. So
Yeah.
what happens? This is all for understanding purpose, if I have to call
Mm-hmm.
it that way. So
Okay.
your entire product backlog is like your entire year's syllabus. Okay, while you were studying. No, this is
Okay.
your entire year syllabus, and your sprint can be like your monthly test or your unit test or your weekly test.
Okay.
So from that, you keep taking out the highest priority, requirements as per the customer demand, or customer priority. So that is why we call
Mm-hmm.
as product backlog item, and then it is called as a sprint backlog, because for every sprint, we take out some of the important or prioritized items and we work on that, we deliver to them. So next sprint, next set of items, and
Okay.
how they work as per priority in order. When I
Okay.
say priority, that means highest important at the top, lowest at the bottom, and
Mm-hmm.
order means they are in such a order that the development process is streamlined. As I gave this very basic example,
Sure.
to access your bank account or to make your transfer, to open an RD or FD or whatever you want to do in a banking account, the
Mm-hmm.
first and foremost step would be logging into a bank account. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Yes. So the
Yes.
same way, thank you, even in functionality development, though this example sounds very easy, but when we have complex applications, or when we have, a lot of functionality involved in our application, in our website, that time we have to follow the order. We have to follow the, I would say, consistency. Again, same example, similar example in Amazon. If you want to buy something, if you want to purchase something and you have to make payments, the payment gateway also needs to be integrated, yes or no?
Yes.
We get those
Yes.
options. In India, we have ample, like, we have so many for UPIs, we have cash on delivery, everybody has cash on delivery, payment by cards, payment by internet bank transfer, right? So all these things needs to be done for the payment to take place, right? So
Okay.
that is one of the that also comes in the way of order. Like, you have the entire process, but unless you have the payment gateway, developed or payment gateway involved, it won't be a complete flow, right? So that kind of scenario we're talking about. That is why order and that is why priority in order is always mentioned in case of product backlog item or sprint backlog item.
Sure. Thank you.
Everybody
Thank you.
good? Can we go to next slide?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ponnu, as you are new to this, are you able to understand this concept?
Yeah, I can understand little bit.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know that. How about Kajal? Kajal is also
Ye-
comparatively new to this. Yes?
Yes, yes.
Kajal, I don't know, she's on, yeah.
I can
Comfortable,
understand.
Kajal? Any doubts?
No.
Okay, super. I hope Zubran and Aparna, Geeta, Gurjeet are also on the same page. Dave, I'm not going to ask because he sometimes, answers in a very particular and better format than what we are discussing. So I'm pretty sure he must be comfortable. So if not, I'll appreciate, whenever he can provide his input. So let us go to the next slide, okay? Let me do this.
Product backlog ante community.
Community. So, sprint backlog అని అంటే
Please,
E3 houses.
please go on mute, guys. Somebody is speaking. I could hear that. Okay. Now, this is honestly more or less brushing up of whatever we have discussed till now, okay? So we can just go through this. Can I request 3 different people to read it out, please? And in case if we have any doubts, please ask me then and there, and we can get it resolved and go further. So yeah, anyone, but I need different people to go ahead. Yeah.
Can I
In-
start, please?
In Scrum,
Yeah,
in
please
Scrum,
go ahead.
somebody wants to
Go ahead.
start?
Somebody asked me.
Yeah, it's Porno. It's me. I asked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Geeta,
Go
thank you.
ahead.
Sprint review with best quality. In Scrum,
Mm.
each sprint is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. This means
Mhm.
that at the end of each sprint, the team has produced a coded, tested, and usable piece of software.
Absolutely right. Thank you so much, Ponu, for reading it out. So what are we saying? In sprint, each sprint is required to deliver a potentially shippable product increment. When I say potentially shippable product increment, let us break down the words. Potential means it has the potential to, deliver it to the customer. Shippable means your work is done and now you can actually transfer that or give that piece of work that can be software, application, website, mobile application, chat messenger, anything that you're working on that you can give to the customer. This and also product increment means it is the next part of your product or next subsequent part of the product. Okay. So in short, this means whatever work you have completed that could be given to the customer is mentioned here. When I say whatever, that doesn't actually mean the word whatever. It means in the consistency of what you're developing for the customer, that particular piece that you have developed in this sprint, which is working fine, which can be tested, which can be used, that is delivered to the customer. Okay. Always remember in the earlier scenarios, we used to develop in a very haphazard manner. Okay. Like prior to Scrum, whenever, maybe waterfall or even when we were using hybrid development methodologies, this was never a concern that the customer should be able to test or should be able to see what is happening because everyone was working very independently and there was no direct connection or contact between the customers and the development team. But now in Agile, in Sprint, this is not the case. Our customers, our stakeholders are completely aligned and involved. So the main or most important priority of our team is to give or to provide or to deliver them something that they can check, they can test, they can see, they can use, and they can actually, I would say, you know, get comfortable with. So they also have get the confidence that okay, development team has developed something. Okay, okay, we are on the same page. Okay, that is working fine, and they also keep getting that positive impact. Everybody with me on this? So that piece of software, that part of the application is properly working, and then the customer feels comfortable. Yes. Can we go to the next point, please?
During the sprint review, the project is assessed against the sprint goal determined during the sprint planning meeting.
Now, this is so practical and so realistic, right? So we had decided a sprint goal during the initial sprint planning meeting, right? Every sprint planning meeting, we discuss not only the items that needs to be worked upon, the product backlog items, but we also decide a sprint goal, okay? Like by the end of the sprint, we should be able to complete this, or we should be able to complete this functionality in this time, or we should be able to achieve this technical complexity by implementing the particular code, a particular language, a particular I would say concepts, whatever it is. So we decide on a sprint goal. So it is our primary duty, it is our most important duty to assess that, or to highlight that, or to showcase that during the sprint review meeting, that okay, we had envisioned, or we had committed to this sprint goal, and we have delivered that. Yes. And then when we say we have delivered that, all the stakeholders have the complete freedom to check on that, to review that, or to give feedback on that. Easy? Any doubts? Sounds practical?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Next person, third point.
Ideally,
Ivan.
ideally, the team has completed each product backlog item got into the sprint, but it's more important that they achieve the overall goal of the sprint.
Of this sprint. Thank you so much, Aparna. So what are we saying? Ideally, okay. Ideally means in a typical idealistic scenario, all the things, all the backlog items that we had planned during the sprint planning meeting should be brought into the sprint, means should be completed in the sprint. Okay. But there is a but to it. We are seeing it is most important that along with that, or even in the scenario when that is not entirely delivered, entirely completed, we should focus on completion or achieving the product, achieving the sprint goal. So what are we saying? Imagine the same example of our banking that we have been discussing, that you are going to access your bank account, you want to transfer fund, and you want to create an RD, and that's why you need to log into the system, right? So your sprint goal was customer should be able to transfer the funds. Okay. So in that process, we developed the login, we developed the home screen, and user information was able to be captured, and you are able to log into your system, and then you can do the transfer as well. But in this scenario, some design elements were not completed. Maybe the theme was not properly applied, or it needs some changes, or maybe some other functionality which was promised or committed to be delivered, like opening an RD. Maybe, though it is a big functionality, I'm just giving a hypothetical reason. So maybe some other tasks were also involved. But then, when we think from review point of view, our goal, our sprint goal, which was of fund transfer, that is primary. I am not saying that we don't have to finish the other functionalities. No, it's not the case. But then along with the other functionalities, even in some of them are not complete, that could be okayed, that could be justified, but a sprint goal, the primary objective needs to be delivered. Everybody with me on this? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, Prerna.
Super. Yeah, super. Now let
Yes.
us go to next slide. Yes. Now, when we say sprint review with best quality, we'll try to understand more items in detail. Yes. Can I request three different people who have not read till now, who were on mute? Go ahead. Anyone?
Sprint review with best quality. Crossing the finish line and completing work requires good planning, a clear definition of done, and focused execution. This all is reflected in the sprint review.
Absolutely right. So what are we saying? Crossing the finish line and completing work. So basically, achieving your goal or reaching your milestones requires good planning, definitely. A clear definition of done. So again, it is done. Definition of done itself is a entirely big topic. In short, it means is whatever work we are delivering, all the completed task or product backlog or item or sprint, increment or whatever we have been working in this particular sprint, the sprint backlog, that needs to be completed fully. Fully means there should not be anything pending, any ifs and buts, and it should be a total final delivery. When I say total final delivery means, when I say total, that means in it comprises of everything that was supposed to be delivered. Okay. And again, we may say, and focused execution. Focused execution means we have to be as a team, as stakeholders, we have to be extremely focused, extremely dedicated towards our goal, that what we have to achieve. That is being mentioned. Next point, a culture of delivery.
A culture of delivery, effective team bring a clear processes and development culture to each and every team, every work item.
Yes. So when we are saying a culture of delivery means as a team, we should strive to finish the work. We should strive towards a delivery. We should not be, I would say, complacent with only our part, that okay, we have developed and we are focusing on technical aspect. We are too focused on the other thing. No, as a team, we have to be completely giving our best towards the overall development and overall delivery. When I say effective delivery, when I say a culture of delivery means, as a team, we should not only concentrate on our work, but along with that, that work should be as per the customer demand. Okay. So why this point? As per my personal experience, many a times what happens, development team is so engrossed and so tied up with their motive of developing, implementing new technology, implementing new concepts, coming up with best or better solutions. That time they actually sidetrack what the customer has asked. Okay, and trust me, it happens. I have seen architects taking, talking to development teams and giving them really a, a good peace of mind to ensure that they are delivering as per the customer needs and not as per their whims and fancies. Okay, many times this happens. The passionate programmers tend to derail with their all, so it's basically like, when you are very passionate or when you're excited about something, you uh, tend to go into your own zone. So that should not happen. That is why we are saying that it's a culture of delivery. We have to completely focus on what the customer wants and what we have to give to the customer. Okay, delivery point of view. Last point here. Anyone?
Following questions need to be asked and answered during the review. Are stories well defined by the product owner, designer, and the engineering team before implementation?
Yes, so we are saying that this following question needs to be asked and it should be answered as well. So what is the question that the question is, are stories well defined by the product owner? That means, are the user stories which are given uh, or which are written by this business analyst along with the help of team members, they are well defined by the product owner, designer, and engineering team. That means, is everybody on the same page as the expectations of the customer? Okay, because sometimes even the functionalities uh, may be written clearly, but everyone's understanding on it is a lot different. Okay, so that's why we are saying what is the outcome of the overall, I would say, definition. All these stories are properly understood by the stakeholders or not. Because see, unless and until you understand the functionality, you understand, when I say you, that means everyone involved, right? Product owner, Scrum Master, development team, BAs, testers, developers, everyone. So unless and until you understand the gist of what the customer is asking, what the customer is expecting us to develop, we will not be in a position to develop that. As simple as that. You get my point? So it's not only that jotting down or making data or details about a requirement, but while implementing, while actually working on it, you should understand what the customer is asking, why it is asking, what is the purpose behind it. So there should be a proper flow, and then you are completely involved, and then you come up with better solutions and better implementation. So in short, it simply means be in sync with your customer. Be in sync with your customer's requirement. Yes, everybody, and this has to be done, by the way, before the implementation. Okay, when I say before the implementation, that means we have to be very particular that we are on the same page with customer. We are not delivering anything that is beyond or that is not required by the customer, that is beyond what has been asked by the customer. And I know this may sound very practical and very straightforward to you, and you might have this question, why are we investing so much time into discussing this? But this is a very vital point, absolutely important in real life, in practical scenarios, in a professional setup. It's very tough to keep everything in a straight line. So that's why we have explicitly mentioned this, that tomorrow, in future, you might be in any I would say any position, any role, but ultimately your goal should be from the customer delivery point of view. Yes. Any doubts in this point, guys? Everybody comfortable? Any doubts?
No,
Yes. No.
no,
No.
Pranav.
Thank you so much for answering. Yes.
No
Let
problem.
us go to the next slide. Yes. So yeah, continuing the same journey, we are asking a couple of questions to everyone. Yeah, please go ahead with the first point. Yes,
Does everyone understand and live the team's engineering value and culture?
yes. So it's as simple as that. Is everyone on the same page with respect to teams, engineering values and culture? When I say engineering values and culture, that means the best working practices, whatever the way you function, the way you work, the way you want to deliver your work. Is everyone aware of that? Is everyone giving their best shot? Is everyone delivering as per their best quality, right? So that's why your engineering values and culture has to be understood and followed by everyone. Okay, that's what we when we say it does everyone understand and live the team's engineering values and culture. That means you have to abide by it. It is not an option. It is not a thing that you may or may not follow. No, you have to live the culture, means you have to have that in your blood and sweat and blood. That means, in short, that has to be the bare minimum. That has to be the most important thing. That okay, there should not be any shortcuts. There should not be any poor quality delivery. You have to provide the best quality, and that too with sincerity. Next point, anyone?
Are there clear definitions and requirements around code review, automated testing, and continuous development to encourage sustainable agile development?
Yes. So these are the questions that we are asking ourselves, right? So are we saying that do we have enough and proper code review? That's It's fine that we are developing and everybody is working and we are delivering, but are these deliveries are of optimum value? Okay, are these deliveries are best in quality? So who would decide that? Obviously, us as a development team. Are we doing automated and required testing, black box testing, and what not? All the sort of the automated testing that we are doing, or in case you're manual testing, everything that we are doing is genuine, is helping us to reach our sprint goal, and ultimately helping us to deliver best quality to the customer. Okay. Continuous develop to encourage a sustainable agile development. Okay. Now this simply means in every sprint, have we planned in a holistic manner that for each upcoming sprint, we should be able to maintain that pace. So it should not be the case that first sprint, you are completing, say, 15 product backlog items, 15 PBIs. In next sprint, you're only completing 2. In the next sprint, you're completing 20. In the next sprint, you're only completing 5. So, I mean, see, we are understanding that there can be technical complexities, or there can be some requirements can be larger or bigger, but then still there has to be a uniformity in your delivery, right? The customer should not raise question on the basis of delivery. Okay, why so less items, or why delivery not as per the earlier plan. So that's why we have to be focused about what we deliver, and there has to be a continuous and sustainable delivery. When we say sustainable, that means the pace, the speed has to be maintained throughout. Yeah. Next point. Anyone?
After the team completes the story, are there many bugs that surface? In other words, does done really mean done?
I really personally like this sentence. Does done really mean done? How powerful and how important this question is. So we are saying, when we are mentioning that okay, our work is done, that means, is it really done? Is it really complete, or is there anything pending, or is there anything that needs to be you know checked, that needs to be thoroughly, I would say, examined, or that needs to be furthermore, tested. So in the scenario, and in case there are any particular bugs, that definitely means that this development is not completed, the development is not done. Hence, we have to focus on our work, and we have to ensure that all the deliveries that we are giving to the customer, those are complete, those are finished, those are done. When I say something is done, that means I don't again go and I don't even put a full stop in that work. It means it's whole, is completed, is finished, and I can hand it over to the customer. Yeah. Everybody with me on this?
Yes, Prerna.
Super. Now let us go to the next point, the last point, I would say.
The team's culture around quality and completion should rise above every user story. Engineering work item.
Mhm.
But this culture is reflective of how the team approaches and delivers software.
Yes. So what we are saying that the quality and completion of your work should be should rise above every user story means it should not be only focused towards one particular item or anything that is with respect to any particular requirement or with any particular work. No, your entire delivery or your entire engineering work, your entire, I would say, work needs to reflect on that. That means, as a team, we should not only focus about the development or the implementation or only testing, but that all should contribute. The entire work should contribute towards the quality and completion of our work. One second. Sorry. Excuse me. So our dedication, our work culture, our ethics as a team's, hard work, that all should be focused and concentrated towards the completion and delivery, right? Every individual who is contributing to the work should not feel that their work or their contribution is only of most important. See, a programmer will never, or rather should never think that their work is more important because they're developing. Absolutely, it is important, but it is not the only part. The testing is also important. The requirement gathering is also equally important. Unless and until you have requirements, how will you work on it, right? The architect is definitely a lot more important in a way. So everybody at their own level, at their own place is equally important. And as engineers, as developers, and as testers, we should be working towards our final goal, not giving more importance to our individual contribution. Yeah. So we are saying it should rise above every user story, engineering, work item, and bug. That means whatever we are working, that entire work focus or the delivery focus has to be our delivery, has to be the customer requirements. Okay. The individual contribution, though it is of utmost importance, should not be highlighted. So it's always, the goal above individuals that way. So this culture is reflective of how the team approaches and delivers software. So definitely, when you have this thought process of keeping the customers' requirements or customer wishes or customer demands at the highest priority, you work towards that and you achieve the goal subsequently. Right? Now, guys, this finishes our sprint review. Any doubts in this particular screen or this overall concept, please feel free to ask. Are you comfortable with sprint review? Please give me yes or no's, whatever you feel
Yes,
like.
yes,
Yes,
Prerna.
friend. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, yes,
Prerna, I have one
yes,
thing to say. Like when you are discussing
yes.
the third point, right? Done really means
Mm-hmm,
done. I had an example like when my kid does
mm-hmm,
homework, right? She used to come and say completed. When I go
mm-hmm,
check, she'll leave one or
mm-hmm.
two pages. So at that time, I used to tell when there is
Yes,
no full stop, also should not be pending. If you don't finish till the
absolutely.
full stop, also it says pending, not finished. So when you said it's done, right? I remember that
That is
situation.
absolutely right. No, and
Yeah.
it is a very good example, right? And guys, thank you for bringing up this, Geeta.
Thank you.
When you have a kid, we always ensure that we go back and we check, okay? We don't go on the face value, right? Though our development team is not dealing with kids or they are not so naive, but then as a scrum master, as a product owner, it is our duty, and even as fellow team members, it is our duty to ensure that whatever we say done is actually done. Because as a project manager, I really have come across this a couple of times, or quite frequently, that in the haste of delivering, in the I would say in the zone when you want to just finish your work, there are many small but yet important requirements or items that are left behind, right? And I will not say that they are those are always intentional things. Sometimes it is really non-intentional, while in the zinc of delivery. But we have to, as a senior, we have to focus that, okay, no, this is not completed, this needs to be finished, and we take charge of that. So always remember this. Thank you so much, Geeta, for a very apt and practical example. So if we don't have any further doubts, I'll request Gaurav to take it further. Gaurav, are you there? Would you like to continue from here?
Yeah, sure, Prerna. If you can hear me, please
Yes,
confirm.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll just stop
great.
share. Yeah,
Yeah, please.
thank you.
So, yeah, when we say sprint review, and very good example, even that is going to help further, Geeta,
Thank you.
because we are turning towards that direction. The sprint review yet not completed. There are few elements is going to uncover. So before we begin, what exactly happens before we wrap it up? So exactly we don't wrap it up. So sprint review does not just mean that we are done. Earlier, as I said, that sprint review, we used to call it as a demo. First, you tell me, can you all see my screen visible in the shared condition?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So here this indicate that it should not be just a boring meeting, okay? So the title itself says that party on wrapping up a sprint review and high five, okay? So high five indicates towards a celebration. In fact, when you have done what you were expected to do and client appreciate that, this is time for really high five, okay? So what used to happen, how we call it, why we call it a sprint review now, and why it used to be called earlier demo, and we shifted from demo to review. So when a review used to happen and we used to call it as demo, it means that you used to show the code. Hey, I have completed the code. You used to share that, okay, we had divided the goal into user stories, and these are the user stories we have completed. And your aim was to receive the feedback on only working software, okay, from the client. And in this way, it used to be monotonous, right? Then to make it more live, what we shifted, how sprint Scrum Master took the charge and made sure that we just won't talk about the code, we will talk about the business value through those code we deliver. What we deliver?
Value.
Value code.
Business value. Yeah. Instead of the goal, we talk about the context. What we will talk about?
Context.
Yeah,
Context.
context is very, very important. I mean, in everywhere. I mean, it is more than how. It is more than what. It is how that creates the bigger picture, that creates the strength when it comes to software delivery. Conversation on how value impacts the customer. It's just not that value you are going to deliver, it is done. How customer is getting impacted, how their life is getting impacted. So that counts when it comes to sprint review. And at the end, you celebrate. Okay. So when we say celebrate, it means that this effective sprint review can be that place where the Scrum team and stakeholders come together for serious, powerful collaboration. But it is also time to celebrate. Altogether, the hard work the Scrum team has accomplished before they plunge into the next sprint. In fact, when you do that, it wins the customers, faith, and they understand that exactly what you are going to deliver next. Okay, otherwise, either you give the as a Scrum team, either you give your customer a chance to be suspect for the next upcoming sprint, or be confident for next upcoming sprint. It depends upon you as a Scrum Master, how you drive this entire sprint review, because you are the facilitator. You are what, everyone?
Facilitator.
Facilitator of that sprint review meeting. Now, when you deliver sprint review, it means that everything, like just now, a while ago, we were giving the example of done. Whether it is done or not, that we need to also find. Then only you can show up that into the review. And before even you deploy, you need to make sure that it has agreed upon definition of done or not. Okay. So let's look at definition of done further. Okay. So what is DOD? It is a shared understanding within the Scrum team on what it takes to make your product increment releasable. Okay. So yeah. So when you can say that your product is ready to increment or ready to be incremented, or when you can say it is ready to release. Before you answer this, I have few questions and I want you all to think about it. Okay. So these questions say that when you say done, it means you are ready to deliver. It is the software is ready to release, ready to be released. It means the software is releasable. So before you understand DOD, you need to answer, what does it take for the rocket to launch? What does it take for the service engineer to call the customer for the delivery of his or her vehicle? What does it take for a doctor to say the surgery is a success? And what does it take for the development team to put the product into production? So at what point of time, if you were to answer any of the question, I would ask, as a person, when you can say that rocket can be launched, or when you can say that vehicle is ready to deliver, what do you do to say that? So, and for this answer, I would like to invite every one of you who are sitting and listening, be it Jubran, Aparna, Geeta, Gurjeet. I won't invite Ponnu, I won't invite Ujwala, and I won't invite Dev as well. Because I assume somewhere they know the answer and they had been the part of the previous session when it was live. And in case you think, no, it was not that case, you feel free to answer that. Okay. I also invite Kajal to answer this. So at what point of time, what will you do to say that, okay, this rocket is now ready to launch? At what point of time you will say as a service engineer, the vehicle is ready to deliver? At what time you would say that as a doctor, surgery is success? What do you do to say that? What would you do to say that?
Yeah.
When
When
we
the
come,
vehicle is ready to use, that time we can say it's ready to use for the done, completed.
No, no, come again. What you said, I just could not hear well.
Yeah.
Come again.
When the vehicle is ready to use, it's
Vehicle
ready
is,
for the
so yeah. So
driving.
Ponu, the question is, what
Mhm.
would you do to say that?
Oh, okay.
When you try
Or
and
when we
get
complete all the steps which required
And where those steps would be?
requirements.
When all requirements are met and tested,
So
reviewed.
you will go through the entire 350-page long requirement document
No,
and go through and
so last line of the product backlog item.
okay, what exactly you will call
End,
it then? What will you exactly call it then?
end of the
End of the what?
end of the
So
requirement. Sorry.
so
end of
end of the requirement will not cover the entire requirement, right?
Yeah.
It will have few portion only. What would you do to say that, okay, vehicle is ready to be delivered? Before that, what you would be doing? And somewhere, Geeta,
Test
you are
drive. Test
grabbing
drive.
the point.
Test drive.
Okay. Okay. Say
Re-
for example, few service engineer was can't say that. So few thing is related to dent and paint. Few things cannot be covered into test drive. Before that, you are receiving the car from your client. Would you do something, right? And against that, you will deliver the car. So it will not count in the test drive. Possible? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So what would you do to say that, okay, the car can be delivered now?
Retrospect.
all the value required are all the values required are completed.
Over the value you said? What do
All
you
the
do?
values required are completed.
All the values are required to be completed. Okay. So where those value would be? Are you maintaining it somewhere? As if you are maintaining, as a what you are maintaining. Yeah, Kajal, try it.
The document.
After surgery, when surgery is completed, all vital parameters of the patient is very
Kajal, your voice is
in good
breaking for
manners.
me. It is not in
Then
rhythm. Lot of breaks are there in
After
your
the risk
voice.
mitigation,
No, where is the risk and where is the mitigation? My question is that, Gurjit, that what would you do to say that the car is ready to deliver? Now here, I don't find anything is related to risk or mitigation or something which I am not able to connect. Help me to connect that. Why you are saying risk?
Can we say, is it in the progress from the basic level to it's going for the next level? So it's in the progress level.
So what you are doing here? I see. Focus on my question. What you do to say that it is ready to release? What would you do, okay, as an engineer to say that it is ready to deliver? Okay, so that I am.
What was expected was done.
Jubran, you will have to speak again, please. Say.
What was expected from
Okay,
this
what was
process?
expected?
Yeah,
What?
expected from this process was done.
Yeah. What was expected from this process? Further, what you said?
Was done, was finished.
Was finished. So what was expected from this process, whether it is finished or not? So what was expected? Have you maintained it somewhere? Have you kept it somewhere? What was expected and where you have kept it?
Story points, story items.
So what would you do? Where you will find what was expected? Where you will find, Gibran?
From the customer, what?
From the customer. Oh,
Yes.
I agree. You will find it from the customer. But are you going to save it somewhere?
On the
In
board,
what you will save?
on the Kanban
Yeah.
board, it will say done right.
Okay, don't forget about Kanban board and all.
Right,
Simple, I
that
have
place to do
simple.
that
I
little
want to know, Geeta. I want to know the simple answer. Forget about the Scrum Master. Just imagine, you are the service engineer working in a garage. Okay, everyone, take this example only. I own a Mercedes. I bring to your garage, and you will ask me certain question. What has to be done? Right? Yes or no?
Yes.
I'll tell you those all things. Now, what will happen is that towards in the evening, you have to drive down and deliver it to me. At what time, what you will do to tell yourself and call me and tell to myself, tell to me that your car is ready to deliver, I'm bringing it.
After
Before
testing.
Okay. So suppose testing is pass. Okay. In testing, either it will pass or fail. But just before delivery, just before saying that, you will do something, right? Testing is a process. Either it will result a pass or failed case, right? But just before delivery, what you are going to do is not the immediate item to which you are calling it as a testing. There will be just before delivery, there will be one immediate thing you would be doing.
Billing.
Okay, billing is okay. Billing is the post-delivery item. Can be billing can be the pre-delivery item as well. Okay, advance billing can be prepaid thing as well. I'm just asking, before you deliver, what would you do to say that the car is ready and can be given to the customer? What do you do that?
Examine.
Examine against what?
Against any obstacles, bugs, or
Examine against what, Jubran?
obstacles, or against any error.
And examine against error. So it means that you are ensuring that error is pre-installed. Error would be already present, right?
Yes.
So have you maintained those error? Have you how would you know that where is the error? How would you know where is the error?
Technique.
Checklist, Gaurav, we'll have a checklist to do. Not that
Mhm. And why you are saying checklist, Geeta?
before doing a thing, we'll have a checklist, right? We have done this one. We'll check.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and when all these steps are completed, we'll check on this one. Okay, everything is done.
Hmm. Okay. Guys, can you all go on unmute and give a big round of applause to Geeta for thinking in that way? Okay. This is real, exact thought process has to happen. Okay. What you are going to do is that you are going to just refer the checklist, and in that checklist, every single item you have maintained. Okay. The list of item to be delivered, right? And you will say against that, if every item is done, nothing is pending in the done list, then you will say that rocket is ready to launch. Exactly the same thing will happen as a service engineer. Do you all agree that you will maintain a checklist? Yes or no? You will maintain a document to which you will call as a checklist. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
So here done is releasable when you will check it against the checklist. Now, there are three components. There are three main components of this definition of done, which also maintain the checklist. Okay. So how many components of DOD is there?
Three components.
Three components.
Three.
Three components. Okay. Let's look at it on the next slide. Okay. The very first one says that the functional requirement. Okay. The functional requirement has to be made, has to be implemented. The quality, it should be the error free, and any non-functional requirement that has to be there means visibility. When I'm loading the software, when I'm starting the software, it should be visible, right? It should be user friendly. It should be usable. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So usability, visibility, then user friendliness. These are all are what? These are all are non-functional requirement. Quality, it is not throwing any error, or it is error free, or it is handling the error. That will become the part of quality. Plus, when it is delivered, it is functional. That will become the part of functional requirement. Okay, but only the DOD when we say checklist in software, always remember there are two parts. How many parts?
Two parts.
Two parts.
Two parts when it comes to delivery. One is DOR and another is DOD. Okay. So what is the full form of DOD?
Definition of done.
Definition of done. And what should be the full form of DOR?
Definition of requirement.
Release.
Okay. When you say DOD means definition of done, and that's when I'm asking, then what you can assume DOR would be?
Release.
No, if something is done, but
Ready.
before
Ready.
right, absolutely right. Now let's understand with one example before we come to the software. Okay. Now imagine it's your birthday. Okay, and you have thrown a grand party. Okay, now there are two things. Okay, one is see, here is the party function. Okay, that happens. Okay, and you just take a relief of sigh. Okay, it means that okay, party is done. Okay, and here just before party there are something. Okay, first let's understand when you will say the party is done. Let me ask you this question. When you can say the party is over? Your birthday party is over, when you can say that? That's my question.
When cake
Let's
cutting is over, or the
okay.
food is done. Maybe.
Okay, wait. Let me write it now. Okay. So one, just this thing I will draw. Here is the party. If this is party, this section is party, what I can call this section?
Arrangements.
Okay. If this is, okay, this is the party, and I'm asking when you can say the party is done. Okay. That's my question. Means this is the post party. You will say it's done. Right. After party, you will say, but if this portion is party and this portion is done, then what should be this portion?
Prep work for the party.
What, come again, Aparna?
Prep work for the party.
Prep work. Okay. So you can say pre-party. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So pre-party things. So we will talk about pre-party. Okay. Later, let's understand first thing first, that when you will say that party is over, that we need to know. And let me write it somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, when you will say this party is over. So what you said, Geeta? What was your answer?
Cake cutting and the food.
Cake cutting done. Okay. What else? What else? What did you say?
Decoration.
Decoration is
Food,
what?
food will have a
Decoration. So,
Tell me full. Decoration what?
uh, uh,
We have to say that party is done. When you will say decoration what?
removing the decoration, cleaning up.
Okay. Decoration is cleaned. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
okay.
Decoration is put down. Right? Decoration is removed.
Removed.
For food, what you were saying? Geeta?
We'll have the food, right? Once food is done, everybody will go.
Yeah. So guest has gone. Guest goes. Okay. It means party is done. Food has been taken, right?
Yeah.
Food is consumed. Okay. What else?
Presents moved away. You moved
What?
away the presents.
Presence. Okay.
Mm,
Presence has been gathered,
mm.
or what else?
Host left the place.
Return gift has been given as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Handed over. What else?
When host leaves the party hall.
Host left the party hall. What else?
You need to clean up the party hall. As
Okay. Party hall was reset. Okay. Reset means cleaned. Right. What else? So here, what has been assumed, someone has hired the party hall and there these all arrangement was done. So that I have figured out while you were giving me the input. What else?
Maybe the place, the owner will check the place and close it or lock it.
Owner, okay. Owner gives a go, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Fine. What else?
During
Billing
the
is also
celebration, taking pictures.
okay. Okay. Pictures has been captured. Pictures or videos. Okay. Pictures or videos captured. Billing is also done. Right. There are n number of items coming up in the checklist. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you all agree? Now
Yes.
there are n number of items coming up. Okay. You may arrange it. You may order it. Okay. So what we'll do is that let's be smart business analyst or scrum master. What we will do is that we will go to ChatGPT. Okay. Where we'll go?
ChatGPT.
Yeah. Everyone knows about ChatGPT. I assume everyone should be knowing.
Yes.
Anyone who is not, I assume no one would be like that. Okay. So just give me a second and I'm switching on ChatGPT. So let it load in front of me and then I'll go. So once ChatGPT gets loaded, I'll share my screen with you again. Yeah. Just give me a second. The file is loading. Okay, it says that it is not responding. There is a load on ChatGPT, it says. So still we'll wait for this. I'm just opening it. So see, as a Scrum Master or Business Analyst, how you can leverage AI also that you are going to learn. This is something additional you are, for the first time you are going to do. So not necessarily we need to go to ChatGPT only. Whatever is available, we can do go there. Okay. So still it is not loading at my end. Wait a second. I'll stop screen share and reshare again. Maybe that time it may load. Okay, meanwhile, what I'm going to ask you is that everyone has WhatsApp in their mobile, yes or no?
Yes.
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 And you know that every WhatsApp has a new AI, as Meta's Llama.
Yes.
Okay, if you know that, I want you to go ahead and say that, hey, say that to that Llama, that, hey, I have a party and I want you to tell me all the checklists. Looking at that, I can tell my birthday party got over. Remember that my birthday party was arranged in one nearby party hall. Okay. Now give me the checklist when I can say that party got over. Just type in to that llama and just see what it says.
Hey Gaurav, I don't know how to do it.
Okay. You have the WhatsApp. Which
Yes.
mobile do you use? Do you
Apple.
use Apple? So in the Apple, what happens? Do you see a circle or you see the search bar
I
in the
see search
WhatsApp?
bar. Yeah.
Yeah, in the search bar, start typing the question, what I asked. Okay, and then hit the enter, and it will take you to directly WhatsApp llama. Okay.
Okay.
And meanwhile, my system will also respond, and I'll give you the answer. So just a second. I don't know, my browsers are hung and it is really not responding. So main item, what you need to know is that, and during entire discussion, if DOD is the list of the is the checklist, just like that, even DOR means it is called as definition of ready. What it is called as?
Definition of ready.
Yeah, definition of ready is also a checklist. Okay. And there is the entire process starting from preparing for the party till the party gets over. There are multiple items into this series. Okay. And that you need to arrange, that you need to complete, and that you need to finish. Okay. And then you can say that the party got over successfully. In this list, what happens is that on the D day, okay, on the day of birthday, You will do multiple activities, and just after the birthday, you will do the listed item 13, 14 list we captured. So those against that, when you will mark everything as a checklist, you will say the party will get over. But just before that, when you will start the party, when you can say that, when you can say you are ready for the party, even that will have the checklist, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So there, the hall has been arranged, all the guest has been invited, the cake has been ordered, the hall has been decorated, all those things. What else it can be? So can I ask one by one, you tell me one answer that what all should be the part of the list of the definition of ready? Can someone try to tell me? Let's
The
start
birthday
with
date.
Jubra. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Geeta, you said. Ponu, who said?
The birthday date.
Okay, birthday day has been checked,
Fixed.
has been decided, has been announced. Date of the birthday has been announced. Okay, it has been announced, and calendar is marked. Yes. Next, Ponu,
Deciding on the venue.
come again. What did you say?
Deciding on the venue.
Deciding on the venue. Aparna said that. Okay. Next, Ponu.
Activities, games, entertainment, extra, etc.
Entertainment, music,
Games.
games,
Yeah.
etc. Okay, these has been organized. Okay, what else, Jubran?
Reserve the bounce houses, you know.
Can you come
Ba-
again?
bounce houses for kids to play, to jump, to
Okay,
bounce on it.
bounce houses. You mean to say that kind of a trampoline?
Yes, like
Yeah,
this. Something
trampoline
like
for
this.
kids. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
to have fun. So that will become the part of for kids, and in the games. Ujjwala, what you will say as a part of definition of ready for this party?
The party eatables, like if there's a buffet or something for the
Hmm.
kids and the elders.
Hmm.
The eatable items have been ready and arranged.
Yeah, foods items are ready, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and who else is remaining after Kajal? What you will say when you will say the definition of ready for the birthday?
Prepare guest list.
Guest list has been prepared. Okay, good. What else? Who want to try next? And they have been invited, right? Miss, you are getting the point. So everything just before the party and everything on the party, on the day of party, and just party is finished. Everything requires a checklist, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
Yes.
Now, what was the question we needed to ask to ChatGPT, or who can tell me?
Party. Birthday party gets over checklist to say party's done.
Okay. Birthday party uh finish birthday party finishing checklist. Okay.
Yeah.
When it is in a rented party hall.
Uh,
Yeah. Jubran, you wanted to say something?
yes. Can I add one thing?
Yeah,
What's
please.
yes? What's the theme of what's the theme of that party?
Okay, whether
Okay.
theme of the party has been
Yes.
decided or not, that could be the
Islam
part
theme.
of good checklist. Okay, so birthday party finishing checklist. Okay, I'll just ask him. Uh, Give me birthday party finishing checklist when it is in the rented party hall. Let's see what it says. See, it started working on clean up. Okay. What I give me birthday party finishing checklist. Okay. Now you see clean up. It has categorized. It has the user stories, clean up, inventory and belongings, equipment, and you see everything is a checklist. You have to mark, check, check, check. Now let's ask for the software um software done checklist. Okay, can I ask that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see what all it says. Generally, your definition of done and definition of ready has to be finished. Okay, it says that. Also known as definition of done, it's ideal for agile team or any software development, now it says that, okay, the software done checklist means your code is complete and implemented all acceptance criteria. Now we need to learn that how acceptance criteria is written. What is acceptance criteria? Code follows agreed coding standards and naming convention. Okay, before even the testing happens, peer code review has been done. So even the code has been written, the code has been unit tested, code has been peer reviewed, code has been approved by the dev lead, code is committed to the version control system like GitHub. Okay, so there are version controlling system. Unit tests are written and passed successfully. Who does unit testing?
Tester.
No, unit testing is done by the coders who creates the code. The first hand unit testing they do on their local machine is called as unit
Developers.
testing. Yeah, so it's coders, so
Okay.
that you don't get confused between who all are the part of developers into the Scrum setting, okay, into the Scrum framework. Okay, that's the reason I am saying here coders, but definitely what you said, developer has to be right. But before, to avoid confusion, I said that it has to be that coder. Peer code review, no hard coded value or test data in the production code. Now, every branch has to be covered with their checklist. Development branch, testing branch, security and compliance branch, build and deployment branch, documentation branch, acceptance testing branch, ready for release branch. Okay, and these are few optional, and if it is required, like definition of done. Can you give me DOR? Okay, see, always definition of done or definition of ready will be in your project, always it will remain same. Slight 1% of change would be there depending upon the nature of the software. Okay, whether it is e-commerce software or it is application. See here, so story clarity, your story is clear. So for having story clear, you need to follow invest criteria. When we will be looking at the story, you need to remind me, teach me invest criteria. What is criteria to write clear story?
Invest
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 criteria.
criteria.
Yeah. So what is the full form of invest? Let me quickly tell you. When user story is written, it has to be independent user story. It has to be negotiable user story. It has to be valuable. It has to be estimatable. It has to be
Small.
quite small. It has to be testable. Okay. So great. I am glad that someone of you know about it. Okay. Then again, business value or goal is clearly stated. So if you follow this, you will be able to understand how story is clear or not. So everything under the story has been followed. Again, in the acceptance criteria, whether it has been well written or not. For acceptance criteria, you can follow the SMART technique. What you can follow?
Smart technique.
More technique.
What is the full form of SMART? Who can tell me that? Who can tell me that? SMART means S is for specific, M is for measurable, A for achievable, R is for realistic, and T is for time bound. Okay? Got it? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. But there is a method to write these user story and acceptance criteria. Okay, we will be looking at that as well. Discussion done with entire team. Even that you are going to focus. So you see, there is a checklist and estimation and sizing, technical readiness. Everything is there before you start even developing. Definition agreed by these people. See, we took on the two section. One is definition of ready and definition of done. Both the checklist can be maintained as a common item somewhere. If I need to maintain this in the Excel sheet, say for example, if I need to maintain in the Excel sheet, I may have, wait a second, I may have such a, wait. Okay, I'm just looking at if I have such Excel sheet where I have maintained that. So I'm still, I think I'm not able to find that. So never mind. So, but there you can add one Excel sheet where you can maintain all the checklist definition of ready. You can add another checklist where you can maintain everything as a definition of done, and always refer in every release you are referring to that. Okay, with me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I tried simplifying these definition of ready and definition of done. And there is more checklist, and there is more in the checklist. Checklist is in fact next, and we are going to work on it tomorrow. And in this, we will be looking at what? So what we have done. Yeah, so we will be looking at this. What exactly it means when it comes to checklist. Anything which is to be marked as done before delivering has to be agreed amongst entire team, engineering team, product owner, scrum team, and what is that anything could be. So these all we are going to look at under definition of done. Any questions so far, guys?
No.
No.
Okay. Fine. Fantastic. If no question, I need to have a quick check whether you were able to get certain value in today's learning or not. So let's start with Gibran. Gibran, what do you feel like saying? One word that comes in your mind from today's learning?
Um, it was we had practical examples, and
Yeah. Practical
uh,
example was value for you, right?
yes. What?
Okay. Thanks, Gibran. Let me hear from Aparna as well. So Aparna, what do you feel like saying? One word that comes in your mind?
Got a good learning experience. Like for
Good learning experience. Yeah.
like
Thank you, Aparna.
getting to know through AI app and stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Let's hear from Geeta. Geeta, what do you feel like saying? One word that comes in your mind?
A new technology which helps to
New tech that helps. Okay,
be a better
great.
Scrum Master, maybe. Which
Yes,
you do
yes.
it like,
Always
yeah.
leverage that. New technology, you must leverage. Yeah. Let's hear from Ujjwala. Ujjwala, what do you feel like saying? One word that comes in your mind?
Um, we went a little in depth into each topic, like like topics were explainable, like we could understand the topic.
Yeah, easily in-depth and relatable for you. Thank you so much, Ujjwala, for sharing that. Let's hear from Ponnu. Ponnu, what do you feel like saying? One word that comes in your mind?
Lots of informations about sprint review and sprint review with best quality. And
Hmm.
we used today what Meta AI and Chat GPT. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's interesting
leveraging.
one about the checklist. Usually I love
Yeah.
checklists, so yeah, I like that way.
Nice. Great one. Thanks, Ponu, for sharing that. Let's hear from Kajal as well. Kajal, what do you feel like saying? One word that comes in your mind?
Uh, For information day to day, and I'm still learning new things day to day, and I'm
Okay.
comfortable with you and Prerna ma'am now.
Okay. New learning with comfort is going on with you, Kajal, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kajal. Let me see if they would like to say something. Dev, anything that you would like to add as in
Just
one
been
word?
yeah, repeating the class just been beneficial to me. That's all I want to say.
Repetition is beneficial for you. Okay,
Yeah.
glad to know that. Thank you so much, Dave, and thank you everyone. We are going to talk again soon. And just a quick reminder, submit your assignments. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, and have a wonderful good night and enjoy rest of your day. Bye.
Gaur,
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Kajal, you want to
sir,
say something?
how to do assignment and
Okay, so for assignment, what I'll do, I'll quickly check in the Zoom if there is a recording. You'll have to go through the entire recording where I have mentioned about said assignment and unsaid assignment. So you will get to know how to do that. Okay, Kajal?
okay.
Yeah. So look at the my portion where I have explained that why you need to submit the unsaid assignment. That is the video recording. That is the summary of the 90 minutes into the 90 seconds in a way that 5 years old can understand. That's as a challenge you are going to take and submit into the WhatsApp group, the video form. All right,
In
Kajal?
okay, in WhatsApp personal
No, no,
WhatsApp.
no. In the group itself. In the group itself. Nothing in
Oh,
person. Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye and good night again. Bye.